Greetings, I'm Jonathan Spirit. I love tech mods, and welcome to Regrowth Supershorts. Today, we're going to start Botania, but first I'm going to show you how to use the seed analyzer, which will teach us how to breed seeds into better versions of themselves for Agricraft. We do need a lot of sand in order to make the analyzer, and I don't want to have to click this recipe over and over and over again by getting water buckets and picking them up and putting them back into the crafting table over and over again, which is kind of annoying. However, with the super crafting frame, we don't even have to enter the inventory, and it will automatically make a recipe for us if we right click it. So let's try it and see what happens. We'll place the super crafting frame down, and then I'll see if I can open it up. It looks like I have to break it and replace it to open up its inventory. We'll put in the recipe, and then we will right click. Look at that. And then we can right click again, and then we can right click again. Perfect. One seed analyzer. To analyze a seed, we pick it up from our Agricraft crops, and then we place it into the seed analyzer. We wait a little bit, and then we look at it to discover it has these three statistics. The statistics we care most about are growth and gain, but I'll explain each. When you have growth, that tells you how fast the seed will grow. Gain tells you how much the seed will produce when you harvest it, not an exact one-to-one ratio. And strength will tell you how strong it is against weeds. I'm not sure if weeds will appear. When you crossbreed two seeds together of the same type, you have a chance of gaining a stat. So when I crossbred two potato seeds of 1, 1, and 1, we got a 2, 1, and 1 of potato seeds. And the way that we continue to crossbreed is that we will place two seeds of the same type, hopefully with the best statistics, and you see from Wyla that their statistics appear in air, and then you crossbreed them together. So we'll see that happen soon. Remember, you should have your crops fully grown before you crossbreed them. From the Seed Analyzer quest, we received the Agriculture Journal, which basically acts as a book that we can look in to see all of the seeds we've discovered. It'll just have statistics on the seeds and what they do. You can get those from JAI too, however. Let's make the Lexica Botania, a magical book in which we will find all sorts of information about Botania, a tech mod, we'll say, for now. So we can press the back button, and then we will open up the Lexica Botania, which has a lovely interface and many different options that we can look through. A bunch of Arcanist reputation, and a noise. The quest book asks us to make mutandis, which when right-clicked on a grass grown by bone meal will enable us to create all sorts of other plants by mutation. And that is why I will proceed to turn all of this dirt into grass with the power of the pasture seed. I'm hoping it spreads. Yep, it seems to be spreading a little bit, and I'll put some torch so that it grows for a good while, and we'll wait for it to grow before we start growing things on it. Let's get some more mutandis and listen to a sound. Let's bone meal the ground. Oh, we got all these strange flowers. And then let's mutandis this grass till we get perfect, a sapling. I'll do a couple more to see if I get anything else I like. Sakura sapling would be nice. Oh, heavens. Well, that's something that's important. Ember moss from Witchery. I'll need that soon, so I'll keep it here, although I can't pick it up without shears right now. I've already gotten oak and jungle. I'd also like to get birch and spruce, but for now, I'll just get birch. And now, the fabulous Petal apothecary, in which I'll be able to make recipes of all kinds that allow me to have several types of flowers that either grow things or do things. There are a couple useful tips to know when dealing with a Petal apothecary. First of all, you can't remove water from it. Second of all, if you place something in it by dropping it in, you can shift right click to pick it back up. Now let's put in the 4 white petals for a pure daisy and put in a seed to get the pure daisy that we wanted. Now it says that if we right click with an empty hand, we'll add back the previous recipe, and then we can put in the seed again. To use the Petal apothecary, put blocks like stone and wood around it. Wait 1 minute and the pure daisy will turn, The pure daisy will turn the blocks into special living versions of them. Behold, it's doing it. Or it was. And I think you just missed it. There we go. Wood turns into living wood, just as stone turns into living Rock. Rock. Living rock. I meant living rock. Come on, audio. Even rock bands aren't this bad. Now that I've got all these living items, a great thing to make would be a daybloom, which will create some energy using the power of the sun. I just need these petals into the Petal apothecary. Now that I've made a daybloom, I'll receive 5 more. Nightshades would enable me to generate power during the night, but that's okay. I just don't have enough yellow flowers, so I'd rather be able to make nightshades instead. These flowers will generate what is called mana, the magical power of Botania, whenever they're under the sun. For efficiency, you're supposed to place them with spaces between them like this. How do we collect this mana, however, and how do we know how much there is? To detect mana, we'll make 2 livingwood twigs, and then use, 3 livingwood twigs. These are pretty expensive. And then put any 2 petals on either side of the twigs in order to make a wand of the forest. Look, they're spitting out particles. That's how we know they're collecting mana. And if we right-click on them, we'll see that they are all full of mana just waiting to be released by, what does this say? It seems some sort of livingwood thing. According to the quest book, that is a mana spreader. A mana spreader requires livingwood and an arbitrary mana petal. I've placed the mana spreader down, but it doesn't seem to have any mana in it. That's because the dayblooms still aren't linked to the mana spreader. So what we need to do is shift right click to make sure that the wand of the forest is in bind mode. It says at the very bottom. Then shift right click on a daybloom and shift right click on the mana spreader to bind it. Now the daybloom is empty and the mana spreader has some mana. We'll do the same for the others. This mana pool will store the mana that we've been getting. After a period of time, all of your dayblooms will decay into dead bushes that will certainly soon die, which is why it is vastly preferable to create endoflames that run off of furnace fuel. But for that we need mana powder, for which we will need some sort of floral powder and, hopefully, enough mana in our mana pool. Our sparkly, magical mana pool. Mana pool. If you see this check mark in the middle of your screen when you're about to throw something into the mana pool, you know that you can do it and have enough mana to do it. So let's do 2 endoflames. I got a bunch of dayblooms as a reward, but we'll use the endoflames as well as soon as these dayblooms run out, since the endoflames do produce more mana and they require solid fuel, and I need to get more solid fuel. Endoflames take 1 item of fuel at a time and use it completely before grabbing another item. The item that you use for fuel can have a maximum of the fuel value of 4 blocks of coal. So I usually put in an entire block of coal, because that's about a quarter of what it can hold at a time. And the mana spreader will handle at least 2. I'm not sure the maximum. I could test, but right now it's 2 that I have here. But I think that's it for today's episode. If you have any feedback, I'd love to hear it. We'll probably do whatever the next quests are next episode. I'm still happily breeding crops, and I've got them all at pretty high numbers so far, which means we'll be able to start breeding them well soon, and we will just see what goes on from there. I'll see you if you I hope you enjoyed.